Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages,
PX proudly presents the tag team champions of the world,
hell yeah.
the badass Billy Gunn. Right?
Road
Man,
Dog, Jesse J.
Yeah.
welcome to the third episode of the Running the Ropes podcast. I am your host, Rabbit. We got your co-host, Iceberg. Should have went that way. I forgot to mirror my
Yeah,
image.
wrong way.
It's all good.
I'm gonna mirror my image. And on the other side, we got your other host, JT Stark. How y'all
It's your
doing
boy
today, boys?
JT Stark. Let's go.
Doing great. Ready ready to dive into this industry, man. It's big right now. It's on the
There we
upswing.
go.
It's huge. It's huge.
It's huge.
Hey yo.
Ayo. That's what she said. No.
Yeet.
Yeet. All right. First topic of the day, boys. It's not glamorous, but it does need to be talked about. It does need to be said. What are we thinking about Raquel Rodriguez? Iceberg, hit it off.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I dig it, man. I feel like it was the perfect transition to bring her in. I think she's the only one that could match up against Rhea. You know, she's huge. She's got a big body. They brought her in pretty well again. I know it's the return of her. You know, her mic skills and all that might be, you know, I still got to see a little more of that. I'm not saying it's bad, but I got to see a little more of that. And, but yeah, I think body wise, look wise, I mean, that's the menace that Rhea needs. That's the opponent that Rhea needs, man. Because Rhea realistically should dominate Liv, you know, and she does. And so I think this girl Raquel comes in there and gives her a run for her money.
Yeah. JT, what do you think?
I think it's good because, in my opinion, Rhea needs like a better matchup because like the size difference between her and Liv, that and that's not really too realistic. Like like if Liv like is keep beating her, like she needs other people to like go up against, especially someone that's like like around like the same size and shit like that. So I think like the way they brought her in, I think it's definitely good. I see her and Liv maybe being like the female version of like Shawn Michaels and Diesel or something like that. Dude, that's what I think.
Okay. So I do agree with you guys' takes. Um, I think it was a good idea to bring her in. However, I'm not sold. First off, I could forgive the bad blood botch with the timing because that's kind of like a production thing too. There's a lot of moving parts with the wrestlers, whatever. Uh, but the few matches I've seen her in since, she's not really selling me on it. She's had a couple more botches. She's slow. She's sluggish. Now we've seen her before, and we knew this already. But and I know she got injured, so she hadn't, she got robbed of that time that she was supposed to develop. But she did nonetheless. She didn't develop more in that last year that that she's been gone since Chamber. And I just think throwing her into the world title picture like that is kind of a risk.
Hey, what was the botch that she did? I can't remember in the pay-per-view.
At Bad Blood.
Yeah.
So she came out at the wrong timing. So she was, she was supposed to hit Rhea and throw Liv on top of her for the pin, but the timing was off. So the ref seen it and still DQ'd her.
Yeah, like she took Liz off, right? Like she put her on and then took her off. I did that. That was weird. I do remember that.
She was supposed to put her on for the pin.
But man, this girl's 6 foot tall. I mean, dude, she's fucking huge. So I can almost forgive her for the little, the awkwardness she's got, a little, she's a big girl, man, but I
Right.
do understand what you're saying, though. I mean, it does, of course, she needs to clean it up a little bit for sure.
She needs to clean it up if
But
she's going to stay in that
WWE,
picture.
but WWE
You
does this
know,
right because they like to throw in people with not that much experience, but that got the look. You know what I mean? And they like fucking pushing these big, larger than life characters. So
That's
it's not
true.
a shocker to me that they would throw this girl in there.
I've just never been a fan of that uh, uh, strategy in my book.
Sure.
yeah, unfortunately, with pro wrestling in general, botches happen. Like even if you're like the best wrestler in the world, you're gonna make mistakes from time to time. Especially she just came back too, so I guess it's a little bit forgivable. Like I don't think it's gonna be remembered for like a long time or anything like that. It was a botch for sure, but I don't think it's gonna continue to happen or anything like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, obviously, yeah, botches happen. I don't really used tend to fret on those. But my thing is, after that initial bad blood botch in those matches I seen on the weekly programming, she's moving real sluggish. Her moves are sluggish. She kind of giving me that Nia Jax vibe. Same complaint I have with Nia Jax, where her just everything's like real sluggish. And like you said, we could chalk it up for the first few weeks to like ring rust, being out for so long. But I don't know about that because I didn't see her lose that before she left yet. So it might not be ring rust. It might just be she's not at that level yet. Time will tell. But if you're going to keep her in the main event scene and you're going to push her against Rhea, which is what they were trying to do even before she got injured, she definitely needs to get it together because you can't put somebody like that in the main event because then we get instances like Omos, right, or Braun
Yeah.
Strowman, where they got a role, but to be in that world, that main event picture, and you know that main event match got to be 4 or 5 stars every night in my book, or you ain't doing it right. You got too much talent out there in
I
that
wouldn't say
roster.
4 to 5. I would say 3 to 4 at least,
Well,
because
my
not
my
every.
my my star rating isn't the same as Meltzer's. Okay, my 4 or 5 star would be his like 3 or 2. Because I'm not saying it has to be a legendary fucking
I
PLE
would
Oh,
wonder what
touchdown
your 6 star or 7 star in the Tokyo
classic, but
Dome would
like
be.
at for a weekly show rating, a 5 star, should
Meltzer
be.
sucks. Meltzer
Yeah, Meltzer
sucks at
sucks.
rating.
But you get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like you should be
I
shooting
agree.
for
Yeah.
your main event of every
Ain't no
show.
way Will Ospreay has more star ratings than
Yeah,
like
that's
like CM Punk,
Kurt
Seth
Angle.
Rollins, like all these big guys, all combined. I
Yeah,
mean, don't get me
combined.
wrong, I like Will Ospreay, but he's not the best wrestler of all time.
Yeah,
He has a good move set, I'll say that, but he's not, in my opinion, putting up 5 stars every night.
yeah. I mean, look, the thing is, you want to shoot for the best rating for your main event, even if the rest of your card has to be, due to injuries or time or travel or just story setups. Even if the rest of your card has to be like kind of fillerish or let's see how we mix it up. You know, the fact of the matter is that you have to have the goal to make your main event of every card be the best that you can have it. And if she can't cut it, we have way too much talent on this roster. You get what I'm saying? So if she can't cut that, then you got to get her out of there
Well,
until
well,
she
to
can.
me, well, to me, you know, the um, the weekly shows when you get into the main events, they're usually not that good. They're usually just to tell the story, push the story along. Maybe tease the action. Now, don't get me wrong. I do like how WWE has been putting on some major, title defenses on the Raw and SmackDown. I like those, but
So major their weekly programs, which and we're gonna get into that, have been very good recently. But I get what you're
yeah,
saying. Normally, the expectation is they're not gonna be right. But
right,
I
right.
feel like at this point for them, they have to be because they're in an
It's a big,
upswing.
it's a big storyline. I mean, and I don't know if this is going to get off topic here, but the Tiffy time, her getting tagged up with Rhea to fight these two, you can almost see the transition here. I think the Money in the Bank might get cashed out on Liv,
Yeah,
if I'm
so
not
that
mistaken.
yeah,
You
so
know,
like you're saying, that's our next topic actually. Yeah, when is Tiffy time? And like you're saying,